Hello, welcome to another tutorial with yours truly, me, Bailey Tilton. I'm excited to paint with you. So we're gonna be doing some really pretty yellow flowers, a field of yellow flowers, and then some mountains, sky, and it's gonna be fun. And we're gonna be so kind to ourselves and patient and give us grace, because watercolor is all about learning. So if you're new to your journey, just know that I got you. We're here learning together. This is part of my Landscape Watercoloring Book. Basically, if you're new around here, what it is we have my pre-drawn outlines on high quality watercolor paper, and then these video tutorials that go with. So I'm gonna be using my size 8 brush. If you have been here from the beginning, these are new. I will be launching them soon. By the time you watch this, they're probably already launched. If you have my old ones, those work great too. I love those. It's just, you know, I like things to be cute, and they're just slowly getting to the quality that I want. So I'm gonna be using the size 8. So, and we have my 24 color paint palette. I love this palette. It's so nice. The colors are so creamy. It's what I use in all my tutorials. So if you don't have it already, go follow the link and we're just gonna get going. So with watercolor, we kind of have to move around, especially in areas where we don't want things to blend together. So I kind of want to start with the sky, and then we're gonna move down a little bit, and then yeah, I'm gonna leave a picture right here for you to look at because I know that's helpful. And also the books have QR codes now that you can scan, send you to my Google Drive that you can download the reference pictures. You can print them off and have them right there to look at. So for the sky, I really just want a very calm blue, clear sky. So I'm using this light blue. And if you like this lighter color, then keep it. And if you would rather have it be a little bit darker, I love this blue. I don't know what it is about it, but I like to mix the two, makes it a little bit more moody. So here we go. I'm just using the body of my brush, filling in this entire section. If you are someone that likes to tape your paper down and you want those like crisp lines to the edges, because I know that is so satisfying, you can definitely just grab some scissors and cut this page out, and that will work great. But also know that you're able, just like I'm doing, to paint it inside the book, because I have done so much research to make sure that this paper is high quality for you. It doesn't bleed through. And I'm just coming right up to this mountain range. I'm trying not to get super far in there, but if it touches it, that's okay. All right, there we go. There's our sky. And while that dries, we're gonna work on the flowers. So we're gonna get some of this yellow going over here, and I kind of want to pull some of this brick red in there with it, and that can be our middle color. Maybe add some of this blue that I love, that you're gonna love too after this. I just overpowered it, so I'm adding more yellow in. There we go. That is about the color that I want. So I have this brick red, yellow, and a tiny bit of blue. That's what I'm using. And then I'm gonna also use just straight out of here. And if you want it a little lighter, you can just add water. We don't need to add white unless you want it to feel a little bit more thick, but I think these two colors will be really beautiful. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to grab this color. And if you saw what I just did, I just cleaned my brush off. I didn't want the yellow to bleed in with that very much. It's not the end of the world if it does, but I just dabbed it off, and then grabbed some of this, and I'm gonna go around and do the head of each flower. And what I'm doing is I'm just dabbing, letting some of this water go out of my brush. I'm just dabbing so that it leaves some fun texture. And if it starts to puddle, what you can do is you'll grab it with your brush and pull it off and bring it over here. See how it's just dabbing, leaving a little bit of white space. Sorry guys, my studio is right by a road that people walk by pretty often. So if you can hear talking, that is why. One day, I'm gonna have my own little studio in my house that's tucked away. But right now I am so grateful for this. Okay, and as some start to dry, you can like add some more of that same color on top and some of the shaded areas to add some dimension. And it doesn't have to be all the way dry, but even just like slightly more so that this color can blend on top. And this color can also go back to these ones because they're the same flowers, they're just further away. So I'm gonna come in here, and you don't have to be as strict. You're just filling in these little There we go. Now we can move on to the petals. We have this color. If you want to add a more vibrant yellow, you can add one over here. I think I might do like a mix between the two, because I don't love how vibrant that is. So with petals, I already have the outlines for you, so you can just like fill it in completely, just like this, not using much technique at all. Or you can practice your pressures and put pressure and lift back off. This is what you would do if you didn't have an outline. This is how I would recommend doing your petals, is you would start with light pressure and then put your brush down, pull and lift up. See how that makes a really beautiful shape? I would love actually to do some, like a course of some kind once you feel confident with some of the techniques, so that if you're getting tired of following an outline, you can learn a little bit of the drawing behind things and a little bit of the techniques with brushes, so that it's not just filling in shapes. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, or if this is exactly what you prefer. Okay, so we're doing this exact thing through the entire flower range. We can use this as a base layer and then come back after and add some dimension, or you can just have it be simple like this. It's really up to you, but this is what we're gonna do. You're kind of going back and forth between these two colors very randomly throughout all the petals. All right, I'll meet you back when we're done. So as you get to these lighter or these smaller flowers, you really don't need to be super exact with them. You can be pretty loose because they are in the distance. They're not supposed to be perfect. So it's kind of just like dabbing the areas. These ones are a little easier, but like as we get further and further back, it's really just kind of filling in the space with the yellow. Okay, so now that we have all the yellow in, the flowers that we did at first are probably pretty dry by now. So you can come in with like a more vibrant yellow. A deeper yellow maybe is a better, because it's the same kind, you're just not adding as much water. And you can come in and add in as much shading as you'd like. So you can start in the middle like this, and then clean your brush off completely and dab off the water, and then you can pull this up. This is called a drag and drop. We are going to use this again in the mountains, but you're starting with that dark color and then you're just kind of blending it up. You see how that adds some dimension? You can even fill the entire thing with a darker color. Only the center. Clean off your brush. Just like this. This one you can add in the dimension that you want. Again, clean your brush off, dab it, and use that tip of your brush to pull that color that you just dropped in up. I'm kind of just coming in on the center of most of them and then pulling that color up. If you are wanting like a really realistic flower, then you're gonna do each petal, but I really love loose. To me, it's more peaceful to not have to deal with every single detail of something and just let some of it be, some of the imperfection. Awesome. All right, so while we let this dry, we're gonna start working on this back mountain range and then move forward. All right, so for this back mountain, we are going to do kind of a blue purple. So we're gonna pull from this blue. Okay, so what I did to make this color is I need to make more. So I use this blue, some of this top left, turquoise, and then grab some of the brick red brown, and that makes a really muddy blue. And if we want it more with purple, we can add a little bit of purple in there too. But I think that looks great. And we are just going to come up here and using the tip of our brush, go along the top. Okay, that is the back mountain range. And what we are gonna do is put the body right here and let some of that darkness come down. But then before it dries, we're gonna quickly clean our brush off and just do this. We're gonna leave some of the water on, but it's not dripping. And then we're gonna use the tip and come in and blend. This is the drag and drop. We're blending this color down. Okay, there we go. And while it's still wet, we can go in with this same color and reinforce those darks. Okay. That is so pretty. And I did come into this mountain range a little bit, which is okay. We're just gonna wait for it to dry a little bit. So while we do that, we're gonna work on this grass field. I might even add more, like a little bit of like yellow dots in here to help that flower field to continue over. But we're gonna grab the green. I'm gonna mix it with this yellow we've been already using. Maybe some of the olive yellow, green. Yeah. And then some purple. Okay, so this is gonna go across here. And this is just gonna be our base color. And if we choose to add more in later, we can. It goes all the way across here. I'm gonna leave that little space. Maybe even some here for the yellow. And we're grabbing water to help this transition and coming up. See how I'm working kind of like horizontal but slightly diagonal? That shows the mountain curve. And it's coming right up to these yellow flowers. You can do your best to work around them. You can even leave some white space if you're worried about it. You can go right over the stems because we're gonna come in with a more vibrant green. You're not even gonna be able to notice. If you need to make more, remember it's the yellow and this green and some purple. Kind of using the body of my brush so I can go quicker. Right over the leaves. And remember, if you end up going over the yellow a little bit, we can come back in with a more vibrant yellow to help with that contrast. Adding more of that same color. So, kind of blends in together right now. If you would like to, you can get that green off of it though. You can grab some of this yellow, come in where you see the green, and just kind of fill in those petals a little darker. If you want some more vibrant yellow, and this doesn't mean you have to change all of them. Like flowers, that's what's so beautiful about them, is they're all a little bit different in color and shape. And so you can kind of work around so pretty. Can even bring some of this yellow out here. Little patch of flowers out here. I think that looks really beautiful. I think this vibrant yellow really helps that contrast between the green and the yellow. I think I'm gonna do this last one and then we can move on. All right, this is dry now, so we're gonna move up here. It already has the bulk of the areas mapped out for you. So we're just gonna use a shade slightly different than this. Maybe add a little bit of green. I still wanna keep it more on the blue side, but just slightly more green. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is same thing. You're coming up here, following this line, and we're gonna pull this down. This is gonna be our darker area, leaving some white space here. You can still come up here, but just know that we're leaving some white space. And then you're gonna grab your brush, same as last time, get most of the water off and pull this color down. And then you can come back in, drop some color in. If you want to add some more color into it, you can add some purple and just let it dry. There we go, pulling that down. And then we're gonna come in with this that's a little bit more mapped out than the back mountains. But while we let that dry, see how we're working around? Now we are gonna do the greenery up here. Grabbing a very vibrant green. Or a dense green. And I added purple for more neutral, and we want to keep it like a tea, not tea, more of like a, sorry, opposite, honey, like thick, more color, so that when we come in here and we work on these leaves, we have that contrast from that base color. And same as last time, if you find yourself puddling, you can pull that up and dab it off. Water control takes a while, so be patient with yourself. I mean, heck, I'm still learning. And I've been doing this for years, so give yourself grace. Okay, using the tip of your brush, you are doing these stems. If you want to move to a lower size, if that's more comfortable for you, you can totally do that. All right, so these are the stems that I have drawn out for you. Oh, I have a few more. But if you're wanting to add some in to over here, you can do a loose version. Just putting in some petals. Using the very tip of your brush, you're just kind of doing little lines. And you want them to be kind of all over the place. Otherwise, it's just gonna feel like stick straight, and that's not how nature is, right? Some little patches up here. The further you go back, the less detailed it needs to be. You can just do some little areas. Some like loose grass. I'm literally just having my brush go back and forth. Light pressure and letting the tip of the brush do its thing. Okay, and if you want to do some of that motion up here to add some texture, you can. Okay, now we're gonna be doing this area right here. Okay, I'm gonna be coming in with, we can keep this color, but we're gonna add, again, more green. It's gonna be more of a foresty green, so I'm adding quite a bit here and some purple, overdoing it with the purple. That's kind of the color I want. Just going down, and I'm not even gonna do the drag and drop for this one. I'm just going to fill it in and add color on top. This right here is gonna be trees. We're gonna add that in last, or we can even do it right now. But we're gonna need to make a darker section over here to do that. I'm gonna add black to this. Okay, we have a very dark green, and I'm doing just vertical. It's very similar to the grass. Okay, now we can do the drag and drop where we grab the base of these trees and we pull it down kind of where these little lines are for you. Can bring in some purple. And now we can blend this out with a clean brush. You're gonna come in and lift off. If you want to, you can grab your paper towel and you can kind of dab some areas to lift off the color that we have. I kind of feel like I want this to go further. Like this. I kind of want to add a yellow in here. Okay, this is a good base color. We can come back after the fact and add a little bit more dimension into that front mountain. We can also come in to this one here and add some more dimension if we want to. Or if you like the looseness of what we have going, you don't need to do anything. Just coming in with some loose grass feel. Okay, I think this one's done. If you want to go in and make these little ones back here more vibrant, and you just want to build on top of what you have, you totally can. But I think this turned out really beautiful, and I hope you're proud of it. I want to see it, even if you're not, because it's all about learning, trying new things. I'm proud of you. I hope to see you soon, and have a great week.